This is my top 5 mods that I think you should do to your Chevy S10 GMC S15, like I've done. Let's get into it. Number 1. Number 1 is going to have to be the differential that I put in this. Way back in the summer, I put a G80 locking diff with 342 gears out of a 4x4 Jimmy or Blazer. They're all the same thing. This has improved the driving because of lower gears, has more acceleration. Also, for the G80 locking diff, I needed axles out of a 2-wheel drive 2nd gen S10. So all in around, that was around $150 from the junkyard. And it's just better around town. And you can also run taller tires. Right now I have the winters on, so they're a bit smaller, being a 205/75. In the summer, with my summer setup, had the Corvette 8-inch rims with 275 55s, or 50s rather, which is a pretty good setup. You get better power out of the 2.8 liter V6, and it's just more fun to drive with a locking diff, do some slides and things like that. That's number 1. Now number 2. Number 2 is going to have to be these LED headlights. They're pretty much a world of difference at night, being able to see. They're only like $30 on Amazon, so pretty good price. So for the headlights being $30 and they're plug and play, there's literally 8 screws and 2 plugs, and it's really not bad, honestly. That's why I picked that as number 2 for drivability, and it improves the look of the vehicle and it makes it look more modern, as well as being able to see, which is, that's pretty good, being able to see. So that's why that's number 2. So number 3. Number 4, to go along with performance, I have flipped the air cleaner lid, and also my truck did not have this cold air intake tube. I guess it's a factory thing for these 2.8s and I think the 4.3s, but definitely before I did not have this, and I had this flipped the other way, and in the summer you could really tell you could really tell the difference. But in the winter I tend not to run this flipped up because the air's already dense enough as it is. Along with a bonus for number 4 would be deleting the air pump. That's not really a mod because you're taking something away. Cleaning up the engine bay, I still have these, but that's just whatever. Because when I got this, the air pump was seized, so I just needed 2 new belts that were the same size, and away you go. So that's why number 4 is going to be a bit more power. And honestly, it's a little bit more power. A little bit more torque. Not huge, but maybe 1 more horsepower. You're not going to notice, but anyways. On to number 5 and final one, which is kind of the most recent thing that I've done, but still pretty good. Here we go. So with this truck, I'm kind of going for a rally-ish type deal here. So I've got the roll bar, the off-road light looking thing, but it's still only a 2-wheel drive, So this thing, it's kind of like a boat when you're driving it, as is kind of most of the S10s. They're not performance. They're not really meant to go around turns. So what I got is basically a sway bar. So it's a sway bar out of a ZR2 Blazer 2-door. The sway bars are the 2 doors, come on the front of the frame, or the front of the axle, like this. The 4 doors go on the back. I went with this just because, I don't know, I just wanted to. It was only like $20 at the scrapyard, so made some brackets, figured out, welded them on. It's not bad. Had to move it over a bit because of the gas tank. So if you're going to do this, I'd go with a 4-door model, as seen here, where you have these type of mounts and they come off the back. I just didn't like that because I couldn't really, you have to take that off to get to the diff. That's one more thing, and at the time, that's when I was, still in the mindset of putting different differentials and stuff with the G80, which this also has. But they put them on Blazers because obviously there's more body over top, so higher center of gravity. But this is number 5 along with what I did to the front. So the front's Coil-Spring, and I got these cheap, really cheap Amazon spacers type spring rate changer deals. They go in between springs and make it stiffer. So it lifted the front about an inch, as well as giving it more spring rate. So now the thing corners quite a bit better than it did. Not huge, but for a mod that's under $50 to do all that, not bad. Also, pumping up the tires help, running like 40 pounds to 45 pounds. That's number 5, drivability and suspension. On to the honorable mentions as it goes by. Starting off our honorable mentions is going to have to be a tack, because these trucks, as you can see, they don't come with tacks. This is just a cheap one from Princess Auto. You can also get them anywhere, really, just like I don't know, what are they, 5 wires to hook up. Really simple, but it lets you know what RPM you're at, and I don't know, just why not. Another honorable mention would have to be the chrome bumpers that I put on. It really makes the thing look a little bit better, as well. It kind of ties in the chrome mirrors and the chrome with the rings and caps. And you can get them usually off of someone who's parting out one. I paid $90 for 2 bumpers, so not bad. Again, also roll bar, that was $28 with KC covers on cheap lights. And on to the final thing that I would say is a good mod for these would be running the Corvette 8-inch wide rally wheels, as I am running the 7s right now. But for my summer setup, I have 2 Corvette rallies. I'm looking for 2 more to throw on the front. So then you get more tire, and it just looks cooler. It just looks cooler. Put some, maybe some 50 series, I don't know, 255s on there. I had 275s on the back, but I think that's a bit too big, so I might try 255s all the way around. And with the front end being lifted about an inch, we have some more room in the fender wells, just a tiny bit, because that's where they rub right when the back of the wheel hits. They're about a negative 12 or 11 offset, something like that. So anyways, that about does it for my 5 mods that I would do. There's more than 5, but basically all the mods that I've done, I'd do it again. Till next time, have a nice day. Goodbye.